Hey everyone, how are we doing? Of course, day 61. Post-op for me from my mini gastric bypass. Thought I'd actually lost track of time, to be completely honest. So just jumping on with a bit of an update from me. So yes, still obviously at Christchurch Public Hospital. Today they have started the feeding process. So I do now have food going through my feeding tube, which is directly into my stomach. From what I understand of the process, I will be having food going through this for 20 hours out of 24, the entire time that I have it in place. Still really struggling with the pain of having a feeding tube, but I have made a new friend today. My new friend today is 2-hourly morphine. Me and 2-hourly morphine are great friends now. I actually was taken away for another procedure today. So you'll recall me saying that we had no end of issues trying to get an IV line into me and bloods. That's a combination of me always being a little bit tricky anyway, and just how dehydrated I was. So today, when the one IV that they did have in place started packing up, and they'd been unable to find anywhere else to take bloods from me, I went to what was called intervention radiology, and had a PICC line inserted. So there on my upper arm. So what they did is, under ultrasound, popped a little metal wire into the vein in my upper arm, and then fed that through the vein all the way to about 2 or 3 centimetres before my heart. And that was all done under x-ray. So I was under an x-ray so they could see what they were doing. And then fed a tube through there. So that PICC line, apparently they can stay in people for ages, so it can actually stay in there for up to a year. So it is fastened at the entrance of my arm, where it's gone into my arm. So that's like I guess a semi-permanent access they have now, which they can take blood out of and put IV stuff into. So I'm so thankful that means that we don't have to try any more needles. I don't even know. It's probably me and that friend 2-hourly morphine that brought up noodles. So yeah, got that PICC in place now. That, like I say, does feed through the vein right into my chest near my heart. Yeah, the feed has started. My throat is still hating me, just with this feeding tube down it. So to my understanding of the plan going forward at this point, they are still treating my ulcer with IV omeprazole. They have got IV fluids going in constantly, so that's saline solution directly into my veins just to try and rehydrate me. The feeding tube, like I say, is feeding me 20 hours out of 24. They've had to start at a really slow rate, so they started at 10 mils an hour, and we're up to 30 mils an hour now, so they're slowly increasing that. My understanding of the plan is that they need to get that to, I think it was 50 mils an hour, and then teach me to be confident using this all, and then hopefully at that point I'll be able to go home and I'll be in charge of running the feeding at home. Hi. No, you're right. That nurse's crack up. Once I've got the feeding sorted out, then yeah, I can go home. I will still have the feeding tube in. I'll be responsible for running the feeds at home, again the 20 hours out of 24, and that there's every chance that I will need to go home with the pick in as well, as I will need to have ongoing, potentially daily blood tests. And everybody I've asked about how long this feeding tube's going to be left in for has said that it's extremely uncommon that they are in shorter than 2 weeks. And it happens occasionally, but not often, that they're in longer than 6 weeks. So anywhere between 2 and 6 weeks sounds like the result there. Yeah, so that's an update from me. Things aren't great. Pretty lonely here in the hospital. Obviously, there's still no visitors due to COVID. What makes it even more harder is that I've actually got an uncle in the same building as me, just on a different floor, who's extremely unwell. And I can't even go see him, and he can't go see me. We're just, yeah. Also means that you're not allowed to get up and walk around the ward. You are confined to your room. Obviously just trying to minimise the COVID stuff. So, yeah, that's how I'm travelling at the moment. It's been a pretty emotional day, but I've just been snoozing lots. It's the easiest way to try and deal with the pain, right? Try and sleep through it. But yeah, I just thought I'd update you. To be honest, I still have no idea how we got to this point, quite honestly. I have no idea how I became as sick as I obviously am for me to be getting treated the way that I am. Yeah, I'm just at a loss. But that's an update from me. I will let the nurse, she can come back in. She's a crack up. Some of the nurses are total good value. But yeah, Easter tomorrow. I hope you'll have an amazing day. A little bit heartbroken I won't be with Mr. 8. I video called him earlier just to pre-expose him to the feeding tube, because obviously when I go home I'm still going to have this. And his only question was, did that mean he didn't have to save me an Easter egg from the Easter Bunny, because there's no way we would make it fit down the tube? So he's taken it like a champ. Priorities of an 8-year-old. So yeah, that's me. Thanks everyone. And I will try and get some sleep. Have the most amazing Easter tomorrow, guys. Think of me when you're eating your chocolate. I'll be just, hanging out here with a thing up my nose. And my friend 2-hourly morphine.